Hey, everybody, welcome back. So, I've talked about this before during the Constitution series about how the president is actually the furthest removed from the direct will of the people, and your representative is actually the one that's the closest to the will of the people, and how dangerous it is for this guy to be taking shots at this guy. So, welcome back to the Green Eyed Girl podcast, where we're going to go over this again. So Trump's back at it. Trump hates Thomas Massie for not towing the line and for not being MAGA enough, which at this point, being MAGA enough, I guess really means that you really are Israel first, let's be honest. You know, it's if we're not for just indiscriminately bombing everyone every time Bibi Netanyahu says, "Oh gosh, there's the threat," with zero proof, then you're not America first. What's wrong with you? Heaven forbid. Yeah, that's me. Sorry. Anyway, so Thomas Massie, once again, is just not towing the line the way Trump thinks he should be. So now Trump's coming out the woodwork to go after him. Again. Does anybody else see how old this is getting? Is anybody else tired of the fight? Just feel a little bit sickened by it? Because Thomas Massie has been sent to Washington by a district of people. Let's look up how many people. All right, so Thomas Massie represents 750.5 thousand people. Okay, so those lovely people, and since I've already been outed as living in Kentucky, I've met these lovely people. Okay, where the 4th District of Kentucky is a wonderful area filled with fantastic people who really and truly are very down to earth. And they sent this man to represent their interest. And frankly, they seem pretty freaking happy with him. So when he represents the direct will of those 750,000 people, why is the president of the United States, who should be just worried about the nation at large, taking so many pot shots at the one guy? Does anyone else just have that concern? And now they're threatening to primary him and take him out, and they'll run as many ad campaigns and spend as much money as they possibly can trying to get the man out. And, you know, hey, that's democracy. It's actually party control, is what it is. You either toe the line or the party's going to kick you out. If I were Thomas Massie, I'd just say, okay, whatever. You know, I'm out. I'm done. Don't care. But Thomas Massie's a good man. That shouldn't even be in question. Thomas Massie speaks out, speaks his mind, gives an opposing view to things. When everybody just kind of, you know, locksteps, walks across every line, it's nice to actually have a dissenting voice from time to time. I mean, at the very least, it gives the Matrix some credibility to have that. But no. Trump needs that gone. Trump can't have anybody that disagrees with him. He's too much of a child. So one district sends someone to be their direct will of the people person in Congress. That is their representative for what they want and what is best for them in that area. And the furthest removed from the will of those people wants to squash their will because he disagrees with what the current party line is. If you don't see an issue with that, you've lost your bloody mind. Okay? It's kind of like, hey, the company is going to do this thing, and you know, you send your one representative from your group that's supposed to represent you in HR meeting, and the head of the company says, "Oh, we don't like this guy because he's against us." And so then they want to remove that guy to put someone else in that'll be their puppet, and then your voice isn't being heard. Do you understand that concept? I know right now our federal government just seems like it should just be, Republicans versus Democrats, and there's only two camps and there's really only two lines, but like anything in the world, it's a little more complicated than that, or at least it should be. Your voice should be heard. Your will should be heard. You should be able to pick whomever you want, regardless of what your party thinks, to send to represent your interest. You should be very concerned, 4th District of Kentucky. You should be very concerned that the sitting president, who is furthest removed from you, is swinging the long arm of the party to knock out your chosen candidate. I sincerely hope that you vote for Thomas Massie or you find someone who will represent your interest, because if you don't agree with every step of the party line and the lockstep that everybody is in, you should have someone who speaks up against it. Lord knows that that's what's best for you. You should have someone that when you and the majority of the people you live around don't like the direction things are heading, that your representative is able to speak out without being threatened by the most powerful man in the world. Because that's what's happening. The most powerful man in the world, currently, we are very quickly losing our empire, but President Trump is still regarded as the leader of the strongest empire in the world, the United States. Okay, that's still currently where we stand for now. And the most powerful man in the world is taking pot shots at a man who represents the 4th District of Kentucky. And what he's saying is the 4th District of Kentucky is not allowed to disagree. They're not allowed to dissent. They're not allowed to send someone here who's going to tell me no. They're not allowed to send someone here who's going to present facts to the public and bring forth concerns. The 4th District of Kentucky is not allowed to do that. That's what Donald Trump is saying when he goes after Thomas Massie. That is the situation. And if you actually believe in a representative democracy and in a constitutional republic, you should want more dissenting voices. You should want more who actually care about their district and what is best for the people of their district and want to present what the issues that they have with the bills going through are. These giant freaking bills are insane. There shouldn't be a bill so thick that you can't read it. There shouldn't be laws so convoluted that you don't know what the actual law is, so it can be wielded against you at any time. However, it does appear that the president doesn't care about you, doesn't care about the will of the people, doesn't care about your voice being represented. So if you're in the 4th District of Kentucky and you are perfectly happy with Thomas Massie and you agree with the things that he fights for, keep fighting for him. Keep making your voice heard, because it's a very important thing to have someone who's willing to go and dissent from the group when it's justified. You should get to have that voice, because not everybody wants to get on a podcast and yell their opinions out to the void and hope that more and more people start to watch. Also, thank you to those who do watch and do listen, because you're great. But I know I'm nobody. I'm nobody on the internet right now. I might stay that way. That's cool. But Thomas Massie is not just nobody. Thomas Massie represents 750,000 people and what's best for that district. So to have the most powerful world leader do nothing but threaten his position because he doesn't toe a party line, That's him wanting to shut up the American people who deserve to know what's going on. I'm thankful for Thomas Massie. Without Thomas Massie, I wouldn't have known that this giant, big, beautiful bill has a 10-year stop on AI laws being passed by states. I'm sorry, AI can get really out of control really fast. And states should have every right to make laws about how AI can be used within their state in a decade. AI progresses so quickly, and it's just getting faster and it's getting better. And not being able to regulate it for a decade is problematic. Thomas Massie brought that to everyone's attention. I don't have time to sit down and read big, beautiful bills. I don't know many people who actually do. I would actually like to have laws that are very straightforward. It would be nice to just have a tax law come through. If that's what's being pushed, okay, let's pull the tax part out. Let's take care of the taxes. Let's lock them in at a lower rate. Though that really doesn't matter when you're already taking a ton of the paycheck plus property taxes plus sales, hidden tax. You ever run the numbers on how much tax you actually pay? It's astronomical. It's all built in somewhere. You don't even see the majority of it. We're all taxed to hell and back. Your registration's a tax. Your driver's license is a tax. So, income tax, which shouldn't even exist, pull that out. If that's the concern, pull that out. Pass a law on that. Stop trying to force through these giant omnibus bills and attacking anyone who won't toe your party line to do it. Because quite frankly, that's corrupt behavior. If you can't allow anyone to dissent from a party line because it's the will of the people whom he represents, corrupt behavior. And it needs to end. And you should be concerned when a president takes a shot at your representative. Even those of you in blue districts. I don't agree with you, but I don't want the president forcing his will on you either and saying that they need to be removed. However, Trump doesn't have any power over the Democratic side because that's not the party he's on. But you should be majorly concerned. If the person that's in Congress representing you is doing a good job of it, and you're glad that they're bringing things to light, and the president starts attacking them, you should have a major issue because that's your rights and your will that is being infringed upon. It's not about Thomas Massie, the person. It's about Thomas Massie, the representative. So if he represents you and you are grateful for him dissenting, make it known. And make it known to Trump that this is not okay. Trump should not be wielding a party like a big stick against someone. It's messed up. I hope you all have a great day. Pray for your representatives.